Hello everybody. Today I am going to discuss with you that is the methods for determination of surface tension presented by me. There are several methods for determination of surface tension. The few of these methods which are listed below. First one is stalagmometer method. In stalagmometer method we have to use that is for determining the number of drops by using drop number method, by determining the weight of the drops by using drop method. Second is the capillary rise method. Third is Wilhelm plate or ring method. Fourth is maximum bulk pressure method. Fifth is dynamic method. Sixth is methods analyzing the shape of hanging liquid drop method. Now we will discuss about the first method, that is diagrammatic representation of stalagmometer method. This is very common method for the determination of surface tension. The diagrammatic representation is as below. This is diagrammatic representation of stalagmometric method. Okay, first of all we will discuss about its principle. When the drops of liquids are allowed to fall from the capillary glass tube, that is from here, and then by counting the number of drops and for a given volume of a liquid and the weight of that particular drops, the surface tension of liquid can be calculated. Now we will study about the construction of the stalagmometric method. The apparatus used in this purpose of stalagmometric methods is as shown in the figure. Okay, it consists of a glass tube widened in the middle similar to the pipette, that is at this portion. It is like a pipette. The lower end has a fine capillary like here, like here. Okay, capillary inside it, and the upper end has a wide tube with a rubber tubing. That is, this is a wide ball which having the rubber tubing at the top of it. There is a bulb in the central part with marks A and B etched above and below. That is, these are the marks A and here B. Here also A and here also B, which are etched above and below. Now, we are going to discuss the actual procedure lying in this experiment. As we have stated in the diagram, that is, as the size of the falling drops at the tip of the tube grows, its weight goes on increasing. That is, when the drop is falling from the tip of the tube, its weight goes on increasing. But it remains attached to the tip of the tube due to the which force, that is upward force, and which is due to the intermolecular attraction in the liquid, which is imbalanced at surface, resulting in the surface tension acting around circumference of the tube. Now, as far as circumference of the tube is considered, when the downward force due to the gravity becomes slightly greater than the upward acting force, the drop will be detached from the tip of the tube. Therefore, we can write it as, that is, the upward force can be given as, that is equal to F u is equal to 2 pi r into the surface tension. Okay, that is gamma, where gamma is the surface tension, r is the radius of the tube, and then inner radius is taken out as the liquid does not heat at all. Hence, the downward force due to the gravity acting upon the liquid drop can be written as here, that is in the form of a W, that is equal to m into g, where m is called as mass of the falling drop and g is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Okay. Now considering these two equations, that is equal to F is equal to 2 pi R into gamma and W is equal to mg at equilibrium, equating these two equations, 2 pi R gamma is equal to m into g, and this expression is known as Tatte's law. That is, stoichiometric method is based on the Tatte's law. Now, actual derivation is what takes place. See here, we have taken, that is, for liquid 1, that is called as a reference liquid, in which we know the surface tension. From the above equation, for liquid 1 it can be written as 2 pi r gamma 1 is equal to m1 into g. For reference liquid, which quantities are different? That is mass of the falling drop and its surface tension. For liquid 2, that is a unknown liquid under which we have to study, that is we have to determine the surface tension, that is equal to 2 pi r gamma 2 is equal to m2 into g. Now dividing these 3 and 4th equation, we get which are the same quantities, that is 2 pi r. Okay, therefore they are get cancelled. Therefore m1 gamma 1, okay, m1 gamma 2 is equal to m2 gamma 1. We get this as equation number 5. And from equation number 5, the surface tension of an unknown liquid can be calculated. Now, from the above stoichiometric Trobe's method, two approaches can be followed. Which are the two approaches? First one is drop number method and second is drop weight method. We will discuss it as follows. First one is, that is the drop number method. What is this drop number method? In this method, number of drops of test liquid falling between upper and lower marks of the stoichiometer is counted. For example, consider the volume of a liquid contained between upper and lower marks of the stoichiometer is equal to volume is equal to V. Then the mass of the liquid in this column is equal to capital M, and the density of the liquid is called as rho. Therefore, M is equal to rho into V. In which formula we have derived it? That is, rho is equal to density is equal to mass upon volume. Therefore, the volume corresponds to the end drops of liquid from upper to lower mark. Therefore, the average mass of the drop of the liquid can be calculated as, that is equal to small m is equal to capital M divided by n. That is equal to capital M is equal to whatever may be the value, that is equal to P into, that is equal to rho into V, that is density into volume divided by n. Okay. Now, substituting this value of small m in the equation 5, already we have discussed this equation, we get, that is, gamma 2 is equal to rho 2 n1 divided by rho 1 n2. Hence, the surface tension of an unknown liquid can be calculated easily by knowing the number of drops, that is equal to n1, and number of drops of second liquid, that is equal to n2. Rho 1 and rho 2 are the densities of the reference and the solution under study. Now, we will discuss the second method, that is known as drop weight method. In drop number method, we have counted number of drops. But in drop weight method, we have to take the weight of the drop. That is, in this method, mass of the known number of drops of both liquids, that is of reference liquid and unknown liquid, that is the liquid under to study, that is equal to say 20 drops, one by one measured by collecting the drop in an already measured specific gravity bottle, because specific gravity bottle contains the 20 drops of the given liquid. From this, the mass of one drop of each liquid can be found by using the equation gamma 2 is equal to m2 into gamma 1 divided by m1. Thus, the surface tension of unknown liquid is calculated. In the above equation, M1 and M2 are the masses of one drop of reference liquid and that of unknown liquid respectively. and gamma 1, gamma 2 are the surface tensions of reference liquid and unknown liquid respectively. Now we are giving the second method for the surface tension determination, and that name is going to here, that is the measurement of surface tension of a liquid by capillary rise method. This is the most important and oldest method and which provides simple by means of determination of surface tension. Okay, due to liquid moves into a thin tube which is called as a capillary tube. The diagrammatic representation of this capillary or differential capillary rise method is as follows. In this diagram, there is a formation of a curved meniscus at here, and a tangent should be drawn which just touches this meniscus. Okay, now what is the principle behind this? That is, if the intermolecular forces of attractions between the liquid and the capillary walls, liquid and here this is the capillary walls, at that time adhesion forces are stronger than between that of liquids, that is of liquid molecules, that is of cohesion molecules. Okay, the liquid wets the capillary walls and it rises into the capillary up to the certain level, up to this level. Okay, to form concave meniscus. This phenomenon of consequence of surface tension and is applied to determination of surface tension of a liquids. Now we will study the measurement of surface tension by this method. First, water in this capillary tube is pulled upward due to the force of surface tension and is pulled downwards due to the force of gravity. You have to keep in mind. Water continues to rise in the capillary till balances two forces are reached. Such rising shown in the figure. This can be more clearly understood if we can take account of forces operating at the molecular level. Now, the two types of forces operate when glass capillary is deep in the water. That is, of forces are, that is we have discussed in principle which are the forces, that is cohesive forces and adhesive forces. Now, what are the cohesive forces? Cohesive forces are the intermolecular forces. Intermolecular means that is two different compounds or two different forces among the molecules, whereas the adhesive forces operate between the molecules of a water and the molecules of a glass, which constitutes the capillary walls. The adhesive forces pull water upwards and leads to wetting of the glass capillary. On the other hand, cohesive forces act as a downwards. The height of resulting column of water in the capillary is determined by balance of cohesive and adhesive forces. That is, when cohesive equal to adhesive forces, we can determine the surface tension. Now, the main principle is behind this, that is the shape of meniscus when water rises in a glass capillary. The shape is which, that is concave, indicating that the adhesive between water and glass are stronger than cohesive forces between water molecules. That is, whatever may be the adhesive forces which are greater than the cohesive forces. In some cases, that is for example in mercury, the shape of the meniscus is convex. That is, there is a depression in the level of mercury inside the capillary, which is due to stronger cohesive forces. Okay, which are the stronger forces? Stronger cohesive forces as compared to the adhesive forces. Let us now consider the expression for which relates the above forces. Before expressing the relation, we have to determine the surface tension. It is defined as the magnitude F of the force exerted tangentially to the surface of a liquid divided by its length of a line cover which force is acting in order to minimize the liquid film. That is, surface tension gamma is equal to F divided by L. In this experiment, we had to determine the surface tension of water by capillary rise method. Now, we have to define the capillarity is the combined effect of cohesive and adhesive forces that can cause ligands to rise, that can cause liquids to rise the tubes of very small diameter. In case of water in a capillary tube, adhesive forces draw it up along the sides of a glass tube to form the meniscus. Also, cohesive forces act at the same time to minimize the distance between water molecules by pulling bottom of the meniscus against the force of gravity. Now, the derivation. Consider the situation second, which is depicted in the figure, in which the end of the capillary tube are radius which is immersed in a liquid of density rho. For sufficiently small capillaries, one observes substantially rise of liquid to height h in the capillary because of force exerted on the liquid due to surface tension. Now, when equilibrium is attained, when the force of gravity on the volume of a liquid balances to force on the surface tension. The balance point can be used to measure the surface point tension. Now, thus at equilibrium, force of gravity is given by that is equal to F into Fg is equal to rho into h pi r square into g, where g is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Force due to surface tension is along the perimeter of the liquid. Therefore, we have to suppose that is the theta is the acute angle of contact of the liquid on the glass. Now, the upward force that is Fu, that is the adhesive force, is equal to the vertical component of the surface tension, that is equal to gamma into cos theta into circumference of the capillary, that is equal to 2 pi r. Therefore, upward force can be represented as that is Fu is equal to gamma into 2 pi r cos theta. As the theta is equal to very small and neglecting the curvature of the liquid surface at the boundaries, we can obtain surface tension by equating the equations 2 and 3. We get that is gamma is equal to 1 by 2 rho g r into h. Thus, by knowing r, h and rho, the surface tension of the liquid can be calculated. If the liquid is not perfectly wetting by the capillary, at that time theta is not equal to be 0. Therefore, what happens? Therefore, equation 4 becomes that is surface tension is equal to density G R into H upon 2 cos theta. Thus, we have determined the surface tension due to the differential capillary method. Thank you.